Hey everyone, this is Alex, and this is my brand new Rigid-Peddinghaus number 9 165 pound or 75 kilo anvil. In this video, I will be discussing it, unboxing it, and explaining why I bought it. Peddinghaus anvils are drop forged in Germany in two pieces. At some point in history, the company Rigid bought Peddinghaus, and some folks think that Rigid-Peddinghaus anvils are somehow inferior. There is also a rumor that these anvils are now made in Belgium instead of Germany. All indications that I've seen are that these anvils are still drop forged in Germany just as they were before. Rigid's main shipping hub is in Belgium, and that's where they ship to the States from. At least that's what it seems to me from the information I've gathered online. So what is drop forging? Why is it interesting, and why do I keep bringing it up? Well, for a couple of reasons. Drop forging is forcing metal through a die with a drop hammer. A drop hammer is an extremely heavy hammer moving at a relatively high velocity that violently smashes metal through or into a form. In fact, I have heard multiple people refer to them as the most dangerous machines they have ever seen. Forged anvils are of particular interest because forging produces a very hard, tough, and reliable final product. Only a small handful of modern anvils are forged. Many are cast steel, cheap ones are iron, and old anvils are usually wrought with a hardened plate on top. And that's cool, but forged steel is better. This is how it arrived to my house on a truck with a liftgate. So let's go ahead and unbox it. Alright guys, well, this is it. Looks great, I think. I mean, the face is beautiful. It's a little rougher than I expected, honestly. Maybe we could just use a little wipe down. I mean, I can already tell it rings like a bell, or it's going to ring like a bell. Couple of things about it that I don't necessarily dig, but I was prepared for. That hardy hole is kind of wonky looking, a little bit. Kind of oddly shaped there, not exactly square. Don't know if it's necessarily supposed to be like that. There's paint on it. For some reason, they thought it was a good idea to paint this. I mean, the paint job on it's horrendous. Not that it necessarily matters because it's going to have to be cleaned up anyway. Traditionally, you have to dress the edges on these things. You can see where they got a little piece of epoxy paint or something on that edge right there. But overall, I actually think it looks fantastic. It is exceedingly heavy, 165 pounder. It's right at the limit, I think, of what one guy can handle by himself. This anvil actually quite literally weighs more than I do. I turned it around so we could actually see it from the face side. You see where it says Rigid-Peddinghaus. Quality control tested, dead bug. So yeah, that's it. Looks great. Pretty much exactly what I expected. I'm really happy with it. So why did I buy this anvil? The answer might surprise you. Economics. Allow me to explain. This anvil was $1,332.63 on Zorro. I put in a 15% off coupon, and my final price, all said and done, with taxes, shipping, etc., was $1,270.62. As I was considering anvils, I was looking at Peter Wrights and Coleslaws. I looked around for several months and always thought sellers were asking way too much. I found a Coleslaw in good shape at one point that I thought I might be able to snag. I think it was a 147 pounder. As I recall, the seller was asking $950. I think I lowballed a little bit at maybe 500, and she came back and said, "Oh, no way, the lowest I'll go is 900. I passed and kept looking, but any older quality anvil I could find in the 110 or more pound range always felt too expensive for what it was. Bear in mind, what I'm now mentally comparing is a $900 70 or 80 year old 147 pound cast steel Coleslaw to a brand spanking new German drop forged Peddinghaus that only costs an extra few $100s and is heavier, drop forged, and brand new. Older quality anvils that are in good usable shape are commanding prices that transcend what makes sense from a tool user's perspective. It seems sellers are very aware of the quote-unquote historic value of these anvils, which of course is supported by the folks that think it's cool to put a giant expensive piece of metal in their garden for decoration or just keep them in a room to look at. America. Forged in fire probably didn't help either. The bottom line is, if you want a tool, unless the deal is really there, don't buy an older anvil at these crazy inflated prices. Leave them for the collectors. If you are new to forging, like me, it might not be the best idea to get something like this to start with. I would actually recommend getting a new, cheap cast steel anvil. I say that because I haven't even forged on this thing yet, but I already know I eventually want a secondary, cheaper anvil for when I need to beat something to death so as to not unnecessarily abuse this magnificent beast. And just as a bonus, these are my new hammers. These are made in Kiev, Ukraine by a guy named Mike. That's how you know they're good. But really, they are awesome. So if you like them, if you dig them, you can get them on Etsy. They are blacksmithing by Mike. And you can also have engravings put on them as well. And I actually plan to do a little benefit for Nova Ukraine soon. So if you're at all interested in seeing that or any of my future videos in casting, forging, automotive, or etc., please like and subscribe, and I will see y'all next time. Thanks for watching. Listen to that. Rings like a church bell. I have the power.